which is the similar concept. Hey, first have success, make money, build assets, and then later you'll have significance. And that's what so many people believe. Hey, later I'll impact and support the organizations or causes I'm focused on, right? Or maybe you say, all right, well, while I grow my business, I'll tithe or I'll give a little bit of money over here. I'll give a little bit of my time to ministry on the side, but I need to put most of my focus into my business because that's what's going to give me the resources to make a difference later. And I think that that thinking is completely wrong. And I did the similar thing originally. I went and set up a foundation, and I started giving a small percentage of our assets and our revenue and our time to ministry. And then actually, what hit me was when we hit about 400 employees a number of years back. I realized I was directing 1 million hours of people's time every year, right? Now that's 3 million, right? And I said, why would I want to do good with just a little bit of our resources, a little bit of our time? We're in the business of providing housing that's affordable for working families. We can make a difference here. I'm invited to come on stages today. I have influence. I have relations. Why would I want to use all of these resources, the billions of dollars of assets, the hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue to make a difference today? And I know that difference starts first and foremost with inside of our organization. And I think this framework of thinking first we go and make money, then later we have an impact is because that's how we've been trained in our lives around the decisions we face. We're often trained and taught from a very young age we have to choose one thing or another thing, right? So when we're young, we think, hey, you're going to either be a great student, you're going to get great grades, or you're going to, be somebody who focuses on having fun, right? But you got to choose to be disciplined and focused over maybe having fun, or vice versa. Some kids choose, right? When you're finishing school, you think you have to decide, do I go to college or do I go get a job right when I graduate? It's one or the other. You're going to go to college or you're going to go and have a job. Are you going to go to school for business? Are you going to be a businessman? Or are you going to go into medicine or law, right? You have to choose a path, right? Once you get going in your career, you have a job, you've gotten out of school, you have to decide, hey, am I going to focus on moving up the corporate ladder or growing my business? Or am I going to focus on my family? When we're leading organizations, we grow as a leader and people start following us. We think, well, what kind of leader am I going to be? Am I going to set high standards for people? Or am I going to be somebody who provides a lot of encouragement, right? Am I going to be a great cheerleader? Or am I going to hold people accountable? It's kind of two different philosophies often to leadership. Am I going to focus on success or am I going to focus on significance, right? That's a decision we think we have to choose one or the other. Do I live in the moment or do I focus on the future, right? Which way's right, right? What do I do? Which lifestyle am I going to have? Am I going to have achievement or am I going to have peace, right? Which one is important to me, right? Am I going to have profits or impact? Am I going to give or am I going to invest? And that framework I think is all wrong. And I think it's about the power of and holding both in your hand at the same time. The problem with and is it's a lot harder and requires a lot of discipline and dedication to do both at the same time. It's much easier to say, hey, I don't have time with my 1 year old daughter because I got to work, right? I got to choose one or the other, right? That's what most of us think, right? Hey, I have to stay in the office at 8, 9 o'clock and I'll see my kids later because I have to choose one or the other. And is much, much harder. Discipline and dedication. Discipline is the intentional choice between two pains, right? The pain of that discipline or the pain of the disappointment from the absence of discipline, right? That's what discipline is. One way or another, you're gonna have pain. Which one do you prefer? But when you commit to the power of and, then you can focus on both your dreams and the future, as well as be rooted in reality. You can be grateful at the same time as you can be discontent, right? You can have both at the same time. A calling on your life can be both a burden and a blessing, right? It can be both. It should be both. You can choose to be a world class mom or dad or husband and CEO at the same time. You can run your life and your organization with both grace and truth. But Mark Batterson said it pretty cool. He said, "Grace without truth is weak sauce. Truth without grace is hot sauce. Grace with truth is the special sauce or the secret sauce." And I thought that was a pretty cool way to think about it. You can be thriving in your life, in your business, your finances, and be tithing. You can have a culture in your organization of high productivity and of love at the same time. You can build a culture of having both incredible profits and rapid growth, right? Most people think, well, if you're going to grow fast, you're not going to be able to make money, right? Nope, you can. You can do both at the same time. You can focus on impacting lives and transforming lives. And for us, lives impact is a social difference in the lives of people, right? Providing them with housing they can afford. Transformation is a changed life, right? It's salvation, right? We want both, right? We know we have to serve people, provide them with safe, affordable housing, to have the opportunity to transform their lives, right? To have the permission to speak into them.